We will publish a white paper imminently which sets out a plan to reduce immigration.
The government's target to drive removal of foreign criminals and immigration offenders to the highest level since 2018 has been smashed, with 16,400 people removed. The UK removed the highest number of foreign criminals and immigration offenders since 2018 after Prime Minister Keir Starmer's new Labour administration stepped up deportations since winning power in July. Since the government came to office, enforced returns are up 24% compared to the same 12 months prior, and Britain's streets have been made safer with the removal of 2,580 foreign criminals, a 23% increase on last year. Bespoke charter flights have removed immigration offenders to countries around the world, including 4 of the biggest return flights in the UK's history, carrying more than 800 people. Individuals removed since the election include criminals convicted of drug offenses, theft, rape, and murder. The new Labour administration is trying to show it's being tough on migration after scrapping the previous Conservative government's controversial plan to deport some migrants arriving illegally on small boats across the English Channel to Rwanda. By restarting asylum processing to help clear the backlog and redeploying 1,000 staff to work on immigration enforcement, the government has been able to achieve this level of removals within 6 months of coming to office. The ramp-up reverses the dramatic decline in removals seen over the past 10 years, and, as part of the government's plan for change, is working to fix the foundations of a broken immigration system. On January 9th, the government also announced the introduction of a new sanctions regime designed to prevent, combat, deter, and disrupt irregular migration, holding accountable those making money by putting lives at risk in the channel. The new sanctions regime will be an additional tool to target those who law enforcement and criminal justice are not currently able to reach. The world-first regime will allow the UK to target individuals and entities enabling dangerous journeys and disrupt the gang's finances to make it harder for them to operate. This will boost our ability to prevent and combat irregular migration. To see firsthand how law enforcement leverages public-private partnerships to stop criminals benefiting from dirty money, Prime Minister Keir Starmer visited City of London Police on Thursday. In addition to the sanctions regime, Prime Minister Keir Starmer's visit highlighted the importance of collaboration between public and private sectors in tackling crime. By focusing on the financial networks that facilitate illegal migration, law enforcement agencies are empowered to prevent money from reaching the hands of those enabling these activities. The Prime Minister's commitment to a comprehensive strategy reflects the government's determination to address both the illegal entry of migrants and the financial networks behind these acts. Prime Minister Keir Starmer said, "This government was elected on a promise of change, and within just 6 months, we have redeployed resources for a scheme that returned just 4 volunteers and instead worked to remove 16,400 people with no right to be here." Our message to those wanting to come here illegally is clear. You're wasting your money putting your trust in these vile gangs and will be returned swiftly. Tackling immigration has become a top priority for Starmer amid the growing popularity of the anti-migration reform UK party. Concerns around the numbers of people arriving in small boats across the English Channel over the summer escalated into far-right riots, with attempts made to burn down hotels housing asylum seekers. Official data released in November revealed that net migration to the UK hit 906,000 in the year to June 2023, far higher than first thought. And while that number had fallen to 728,000 a year later, voters are still concerned that historically high levels of migration are piling pressure on already squeezed housing, education, and health services. While asylum seekers make up less than 10% of migrants to the UK, the issue of small boat crossings has proved to be a lightning rod after former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak promised, and failed, to stop the boats.
But what I can tell you is I want to bring the numbers of legal net migration down.
While Starmer's government has vowed to crack down on people smugglers, it is also speeding up the processing of asylum claims to reduce the UK's expensive reliance on hotels to house asylum seekers. UK officials have also been targeting illegal working, sending inspectors to car washes, nail bars, and construction sites. Visits to suspected dodgy employers are up 32% since Labor came to power compared to the same period a year earlier, the Home Office said, while there have been 29% more arrests. The Conservatives have claimed Labor is returning a tiny 5% of the migrants who had arrived since they entered office. Chris Philp, the Shadow Home Secretary, said, "The government is being deeply dishonest by claiming returns that mainly have nothing to do with small boat arrivals will act as a deterrent. The Rwanda scheme would have been a real deterrent, but Labor canceled it before it even started." The harsh stance of the government on illegal migrants is justified as the number of migrants arriving in the UK in 2024 after crossing the English Channel in small boats was up by a quarter on the previous year, figures show. Some 36,816 people made the journey in 2024, a jump of 25% from the 29,437 who arrived in 2023, according to provisional figures from the Home Office. The last crossings of the year took place on December the 29th, when 291 people made the journey from France in 6 boats. The Home Office recorded no further crossings for the remaining 2 days of 2024 amid blustery weather conditions. It means 2024 saw the second highest number of arrivals in a year since data on channel crossings began in 2018. Given the sheer number of people crossing the border, the government is planning to table a bill that states that when a person falls under suspicion of aiding and facilitating the smuggling of migrants into the country, they can in the future be placed under an interim serious crime prevention order, SCPO. This means they will suffer strict restrictions on their communications, such as limitations placed on using their phones, laptops, or social media, a ban on accessing their finances, as well as limitations on their freedom of movement, reaching up to a full travel ban. Currently, securing a serious crime prevention order imposed on suspects, including people smugglers, can be a complex and lengthy process, restricting the use of this powerful tool. Interim orders will go further, speeding up the process for placing restrictions on people under investigation to prevent, deter, and disrupt serious and organized crime, including people smuggling. These new interim orders will allow the National Crime Agency, NCA, the police, and other law enforcement agencies to apply directly to the High Court to impose immediate restrictions, while a full order is considered. Breaching an interim order could lead to up to 5 years in prison under the proposed bill. The announcement on the tabling of these changes comes just days after figures were presented, highlighting the fact that migrant arrival numbers from across the Channel continue to rise. The UK government is unwavering in its commitment to controlling immigration and ensuring the safety of its citizens. By addressing the root causes of irregular migration, strengthening enforcement mechanisms, and introducing innovative policies like the serious crime prevention orders, the administration is determined to tackle criminal gangs, reduce pressure on public services, and uphold the rule of law. As a result of these efforts, 16,400 people have been removed from the UK. These measures are not only a response to voter concerns, but a long-term strategy to fix a broken immigration system, making the streets safer and supporting those genuinely in need. Your perspective matters. Are you satisfied with the government's approach to immigration control? Is the removal of 16,400 individuals enough, or do you think more should be done? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on similar stories. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters in these discussions. See you next time.